Pizzawizard here, and welcome to the grand finale of the tiebreaker match between Pizzawizard and Mistergreen to decide who the second finalist will be, and who will be facing off against me in the bronze match. Sadly, I've been unable to find a co-commentator, but if you happen to be in chat and would be willing to join me, feel free to hop into to voice channel 3 of the tournament channel. It is most unfortunate because Captain Gyro, who would usually join me, said that he has been living up to his new nickname of Uncle Wiggly by wiggling his headset to death, and therefore does not have a microphone. Highly unfortunate. In any event, let's see how this goes. Pizzawizard and Mistergreen, obviously, both very seasoned veterans, highly skilled players. But, well, we'll see how this goes. Oh, what's that? Is that? A hypnosis show on the right off the bat. Interesting. Yep, just going through the week 1 supply train. So, you can put your guesses in, folks, as to where Dracula began. I likely won't see them, in truth, but due to how it is in my with my solo laptop, trying to do all the work. But, fortunately, that's kind of just how it is. I forgot to put this in streams and content as well. Whoops. Okay, so shareable link. Sorry, well, while they're going through the week 1 supply train, I'll real quick put this in. Anything in particular happen? Nope, just a bunch of Dracons. Plus items. And what got discarded by glowing? Some garlic. Okay. Oh! Mistergreen is either going for a lair stratagem or forgot to misdirect. Oh dear. Will the hunters draw a newspaper? Apparently not. No newspaper for you, Pizzawizard. Yeah, I personally am hoping that Mistergreen takes the win, as he and I, ever since we began the knockout phase, have had something of a pact between us that if one of us fell as I did to Scott's sword, then the other would have to progress. But, well, I'm happy with how far I got. Reaching these semifinals is no small thing, and it's further than I've ever gone before, so I'm happy as it is. And if I can win the bronze match, it the third place face off, then I'll be even happier. But but first, I have to pick this. I need to know who I'm going to be facing off against. Interesting. I'll have to ask MG about this. It's at the end of the game. What is it that made him not misdirect? Has he just forgotten two Udrak phases in a row? Oh, Jonathan Harker. Okay, well then. Yeah, that's pretty good timing. Although, it would be not as great timing if he happened to draw a new zero right after it. That'd be amusing. 2 stakes in the discard already. Interesting. So, we have a pretty, juicy looking hoax hit here for the first encounter. And of course, Harker will reveal where that encounter is. Okay, finally you got around to this directing. Yeah, it would appear as if he simply forgot. Either that or he was thinking of doing Lair Strat, but then Jonathan Harker's appearance changed his mind. Possibly. Okay, flowers, local rumors, nope. I kinda didn't think so. Doggies. Oh, newspaper. Second encounter is in Paris. Okay. But where's the first one? And Harker will tell us that. Possibly a Strasbourg start? Interesting. So he's gone somewhat central. But question is, how central? Where did he begin? And where is he now? So where is Dracula now? I don't know. He can be in quite a few different spots. Okay. Do the hunters have an early newspaper to have show show them this before Harker shows them? Apparently not. Or if they do, they're saving it for another time because they have Harker. Interesting. Well, it's not all that surprising, but behind the veil, oh, he has several fighter vamps in hand, along with a soil and an aristocratic vamp. There goes a reckless. But he didn't have any fog, which is noteworthy. I mean, mind you, he could have just drawn a fog to replace the reckless vampire, so the hunters will still have to be a little bit careful. No holy circles left? Jonathan Harker? It was at Geneva. Okay. Okay, describing a heavenly host. Interesting. Okay, so his present location is not adjacent to anyone. But who's going to deal with Geneva? You can't horse there in one day. So unless Mina's gonna get there via sense of emergency, he appears to be just letting Geneva go. That's interesting. Neither Toulouse nor Strasbourg. Well, that's rather interesting. Mind you, still could have gone loop-de-loo like so. Through Clermont-Ferrand. After all, the local rumors earlier was drawn in Vienna, not Bordeaux. Yeah, if I were Dracula, I would likely wolf form sometime soon. Okay, hasn't been to Munich. So what is that gets to mature here in Geneva? So evidently either Seward does not yet have a horse, or he like possibly doesn't have any of the glue tickets yet. Although with all the passing that's happening, I doubt that's the case. So it's likely the former of those two. That he simply doesn't have. Oh, layering it. Interesting. Very interesting. Did you try trying to pull a Spencer strat? Very intriguing. Doming horsing. Alright. I suppose I would likely check Zurich if I were check a place like Zurich or Nuremberg. If I Angeldoming. Not there. Yeah, this is the beauty of the Central Starch. It's such a maze of connections that there are so many different things you can do. So Van Helsing can, yeah, just pop on into Paris, deal with whatever's there. Yeah, but the bad news for the hunters is they haven't cleared any trail. I mean, they got lucky that that was something that he just wanted to lair, and didn't really think was worth maturing, for the first one. But it's already a full week into the game, so, and they haven't really started clearing yet. Sandwich here. Okay, so Van Helsing is delayed. Does he have a rifle or pistol? What's in the discard, by the way? No revealed. Okay. So he can mature that and place out a roadblock somewhere or another. But honestly, I might consider doing that. Block the rail line between Bordeaux and Paris, so that it'll be harder for Seward and Van Helsing to get together and trade, as I assume that they do want to do that. Jonathan Harker. Brussels was next, okay. He matured the Saboteur. Will he do it like I think he should? On that rail line there? That's interesting. Oh, he's back at his lair. With 3 encounters protecting him. What'll they be? So he's trying to play like Spencer Wolfhard. At least to a degree. I mean, after not having made a lair of Paris, I'm not sure I fully agree with that choice. But, okay. Interesting. So obviously, the hunters have something or another here. I mean, Pizzawizard obviously has something that he could play, but he's thinking long and hard about whether to use it or not. If it's an RV, if it's a renewed vigor, that is a bit tough with Van Helsing being delayed, and Mia now having to go a long way around. Okay, will he assault him, or will he just let it go for now? Okay, yeah, he's going to do some trail clearing. But that's a rather beefy spot for him to have to clear later. Excuse me. It is relatively early in the morning for us American folk, so what will Mia do? If I were a Pizzawizard, I would have Mia just stay put for this turn. Yeah, but how did he end up back at Geneva with there being no wolf form? Possibly Cologne, Frankfurt. Oh, using good luck to get rid of the roadblock? Okay. Cologne, Frankfurt, Strasbourg, Zurich, Geneva, then? With him having, if he had used Wolfhorn to pull this off, I would agree with this. But now you have given him more Wolfhorn options. He can Wolfhorn to Munich. He can Wolfhorn to Bordeaux. He could just get Wolfhorn to Genoa. He could Wolfhorn to Nuremberg. Basically, he can go to all the places that they used to be. Aristocratic vampire. But he used a stake to do it. I mean, he doesn't get delayed, but that's now the 3rd stake in the discard. And let's not forget that when we looked at his hand through behind the veil, uh, he had another Reckless and a new Vampire. And we still haven't seen a Fighter Vamps apart from that. Any Fighter Vamps on the trail yet. So, I would not be surprised. Oh, 4 Dracula cards. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy. Unearthly Swiftness, Vampiric Influence. So if a hoax goes off, you know that he has the option of Unearthly Swiftness. So you gotta be very careful about that. Now, so what's up next? Clone, I think? Or no, I think it has to be Amsterdam. Either that or there's a hide card thrown in somewhere. Ah, hide at Amsterdam to Cologne to Strasbourg to Geneva. Hmm. Upgrading Brussels to Lair. Because why not? Is this perhaps a fog on a hoax? If so, the hunters are in a spot of bother here. Yep, wolf form makes makes complete sense to do that. Yeah, naturally, rumor token. Putting a rumor token on that fortress of 3 encounters. They only have 1 stake left, and it's possible that 1 stake is one of those remaining 4 cards. Fog, yep, a fog on Amsterdam, but they have a forewarned. Okay, they got to use forewarned on a fog. So what is it that's hiding there? Is it a hoax? Could be. And especially that, I mean, they want to make the hunters want to make absolutely certain that after this got put in the discard from Mystic Research, that there is no hoax. Sure. Okay. Going to Marseille. Okay. Yeah, the hunters are now catching up on the trail a little. Okay, so they're going to scan France. See if he will form to somewhere in France. Oh, it was a hoax. Oh boy, that was close. Fortunately, I had the forewarn for the fog. But, of course, that forewarn is now gone for the rest of the game. Desecrated Soil. One of my favorite encounters. So Dracula gets to do some card draw. Filter his hand of the worst stuff. Okay, no Heavenly Host revealed. and one got tossed in the discard. So that would seem to say that, as of that, oh, using hypnosis. Okay, so he went. So he wolf formed to Germany, which, given what we know, that can only be Frankfurt or Nuremberg. Personally, I would guess Nuremberg in this case. But the problem is they still have to deal with this. 3 encounter cards, one of them, at least one of the which Dracula claims is a vampire. Take a peek at chat. Interesting stuff. But what do you expect of the semifinals? So I went up to Germany. Will form locations within range of Geneva that are in Germany. Well, I mean, that could be Munich too, I suppose. I didn't bring that. So he could just be going east now, which I would not blame him at all for doing that. But I imagine that he will now be horsing, like, possibly up to Munich. Oh. Yeah, there is... I was going to mention that there is the argument, do you just let this mature? Because... it's only one location, so therefore at most 7 points. I mean, it's possible that there's a hoax there too, but... it's really hard to say. All the dogs are gone. Both crucifixes are gone. Yeah. So, ambushing with a spy. A rifle. A reckless vampire next. Lucky find. Very appropriate. You discard a weapon, you get a new one. Hopefully. What stuff was discarded through the lucky find? Since he discarded a pistol, I'm assuming that you got something at least reasonable. Will he see a typical Scotsword, a typical Pizzawizard situation where he uses holy bullets to take this down? Let's see. Strength, punch. Okay, good. That's good for the vampire. I mean, he could have gone in a fang for a point, but well. It's still damage. Mesmerize. Knife. Okay. So, Seward, we know, has a horse, a knife, used to have a pistol, but he has two other cards. What are they? One of them I'm going to, I think will likely be the fourth stake. Okay, Fangs, escape. Okay, so that went nicely for the vampire. No damage taken at all, 4 damage to Seward, and a point. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. Yeah. And I personally am hoping to... I'm hoping for Mr... Oh, another Reckless Vampire. Uh-oh. Which is interesting, because we still haven't seen the new vampire yet. Alright, so let's see. Let's see what happens. Fangs? Heavenly Host. Oh, wow. That is super good for Mr. Green. That's a second... Now that I think of it, I should have seen that coming. That Seward would be carrying a Heavenly Host. But... but that is... Yeah, that is super good for Mr. Green. It's quite possible that he may choose to just let this go now. Because 2 Reckless Vampires is a very tough thing to get rid of. And you may end up just giving him too many points and one may mature anyway. Okay, so he did Wolfhorn to Munich. Cookie, says Mr. Green. Wool. Ambushing with wolves. Okay, I find that a little bit odd, but okay. I would have just waited for him to search it at night, personally. But okay. Very well. He showed only a knife. Interesting. What does that mean? What else does he have? And even if Seward's last item is the last stake, he can't just go staking it right here and now, because he had 3 health, and even if he stakes one, he has to night fight the other. So yeah, that's a very nasty spot there. Jonathan Harker showing that to Cologne, but we kind of knew that already. Showing vampire lair. Okay, so therefore, once they get another stake, they can cancel out that influence. Although having to use vampire lair on just a couple reckless vampire bites is not exactly the most definitely not exactly the most morale helping situation, so to speak. Yep, into cycle layers. Interesting. Okay, so he appears to be thinking about Rumor Token. Okay. In that case, is to go to Strasbourg with a heavenly host to silence the desecrated soil. I mean, that's not doing much for Dracula if it matures, but yeah, what does he do? Okay, apparently he's belonging as a heavenly host. Either that, or he's simply going there because it's the best move he can make. Pizzawizard is having to spend a lot of time on Geneva here. That's not good for the hunters. How many Dracmans are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 of them. Okay, so there's only 12 left in the draw pile. One of which is now in the top, apparently. Okay, so now he can. Oh, so he actually did not go east. He's looped up. He's looped up north. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, maturing the desecrated soil to heal up 1 health. Updating his layers to erase the cologne layer. Interesting. Oh, so he, basically making it possible that he can go to Cologne without them knowing. Yeah, but we're 1 day away from week 3 now. So Dracula's doing well. Yeah, okay, so yeah, he was trying to get here. Will he ambush with the reckless vampires to try to snag some more points? And we know that Seward has a knife, and Van Helsing has a knife, and more often than not, Mina has a knife. So therefore, if I had to guess, I would say Lung does not have a knife. Not Nuremberg. Oh, so he actually went south into Italy. Interesting. Yeah, he's just twisting and turning. I don't recall Zurich, but then again, Zurich, I don't think Zurich was checked. He could actually just be going Zurich, Milan, Genoa, Venice. Okay. Which it looks as if he either hid at Venice or went Milan to either Venice or Genoa. Interesting. He's thinking a while about whether to ambush Mina with this or not. I'm going to guess that it's a bats. Yep. I can imagine that Pizzawizard is none too happy about that. Because Pizzawizard, I know, has expressed extreme distaste for Mina being ambushed by. Oh, interesting. Double stake. So he had to hunt up double stake in order to clear that spot up. So what's gonna happen with these bats here? Bat into another vampire, perhaps? Because we still haven't seen that new vampire. Okay. I'm not sure I like that, because that's showing him precisely where you haven't, that tells him exactly where you've gone. You're going to give him information no matter what you did. But yeah, because you had to have either gone through there and hid, or gone at Milan and then to one of these. So you're gonna reveal something. So, the encounter deck is about to reshuffle, so we haven't seen either new vampire, but we've seen all the reckless ones now. Goodness. Peacewizard's horse economy is just not behaving today. One amusing thought is that what if are we going to see a blood transfusion sometime in this game? Because Sura did get bitten after all. Excuse me. Scouts, okay. Well, he can poke at Rome, and he can poke at... Okay. So he went to Naples. So now he can no longer we know that unless the fog, the second fog is like on Genoa, for instance, then like on Genoa, Milano, basically unless it's already on the trail, he has the second fog in hand. I would imagine that he will likely go to Bari now. Okay, no, going to see. And I can get that too. I mean, is in a spot where she could excellent weather onto Bari. Seward is in a spot where he could charge carriage or sense of emergency onto Bari. And then you'd be facing a 2v1. Gracious, so many Drac events. Okay. Okay. So she can now go to Rome. Question is what's there? Desecrated ambushing with a desecrated soil. Okay. I don't really get the benefit behind that choice. But okay. Very well. Okay, Mina has the I would say remaining heavenly hosts, except that they've gone through the entire item pile, and therefore there's there's like a 50% chance that they found the one that they initially discarded. The one that's currently in the discard is the one that was discarded when Rod Stewart got bitten trying to use it. A hoax. Okay. So that's the second hoax, but the deck has reshuffled. New vampire. Oh boy. Although it's not all that unlikely that he has like a planned ambush or an escape route. Okay, so this could go very poorly for the hunters now. As night fights. There's always potential, but especially with Van Helsing, if he can hit him twice with claws, he knows that he. So we know that Van Helsing has a knife. We know that he does not have a horse. So what are his other two items? I'm tempted to say possibly a gun and a holy bullets, personally, because he never had. Because there were never more than two. There were never. There were only ever two holy bullets in the discard at once. So I do suspect that at least that someone is carrying them around. The third holy bullets around somewhere. Okay, mesmerize, rifle. Okay, choosing to start. So I get the logic behind starting with rifle. Even if you don't have holy bullets, because as I mentioned, Van Helsing is more susceptible to claws than other hunters. So therefore, you want to dodge. You want to deal with claws first and foremost. Most of the time, at least. But now, if the vampire lands a fang attack, then Van Helsing gets bitten. Okay, claws. Escape. Okay, but you deal 4 damage. And, well, that will take a little bit of time to recover from. And, of course, he is nearby, John Seward, if you want to speed up the process. But you will have to possibly... You may have to go out of your way to do that. Okay, but this means that vampire gets to mature. And since they already dealt with all the encounters that it's going to wipe, he gets 3 points, and that's it. He's not erasing any encounters. The one thing that is semi bad for Dracula is that what he is erasing is 4 locations that he can use for layers for hand filtering, but 3 influence that subtracts a full day. Very, yeah. Things are looking relatively nice for Dracula. So there's still one more vampire that we haven't seen. Of course, he could have redrawn the Reckless vampires by now, but there is still one new vampire. Okay, yeah, moving one more C before landing. Makes sense. Okay. What's the discard looking like now? No holy circles. 2 out of 3 holy bullets. Okay, discarding his rifle that he showed in that combat. Discarding the garlic. Aggie. Ooh. Interesting. I expect that Dracula will Wolfhorn land this turn. I Because the hunters are definitely running out of time. Because as if he moves a third sea space, they will know. The hunters will know that he's either in the South Atlantic, in which case they go chasing off. At this point, the hunters may well have CG, and it doesn't take that powerful. It doesn't take that powerful CG to. You only need 2 heavenly hosts to completely barricade the Adriatic Sea and the Black Sea, and only 1 to fully barricade the Black Sea. So, if he moves the third sea space, then he will. The risk of CG to destroy that rumor token is just too. The risk is just too great. Unless you went South Atlantic, in which case, well, it's a tad obvious. They've already used hypnosis, but there is still money trail as a possibility. It's possible that that's what the hunters are digging for in these supplies. So I would wolf on shore, even if that means just going to Madrid, then so be it. They don't know if it's that or if you're wolf going to Sofia. Normal landing. Well, that is a little bit daring, I will say. That's... Unless you did a very foolish Tyrrhenian to Mediterranean... unless you're counting on this vampire to mature, then... which is definitely not something you should count on. Mina's right next door, and they could have yet another stake. So that's the third holy bullet's gone. Newspaper. So yeah, newspaper is hardly gonna be any use. Plus, he already had a full hand of events, so he couldn't really afford to keep it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there's only 8 Drac events left. Does he start risking night supplies? And also, did he ever use the 2 night supplies that I gained from the mystic research. Okay, well, I shouldn't speak too soon, but it appears unless it was a CG now, it would have. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think that they were trying to hunt. However, we know that can place at most 2 tokens, and perhaps I'm guessing that it's Alicante. That's why he dared to just land, because he knows that at most they will be able to muster 3 tokens. So he will never get Dracula aired here, and forced back out to sea. However, they can force him, if that's the case, to move up to Saragossa, and I would imagine by now. Apparently, Pizzawizard guess that's there. So. So it was an Ionian Sea. So now he knows that it was the Mediterranean Sea, and that he's either at Barcelona or Alicante. So that means that what I would do is, but I know that CG is gone. Do you risk just doing a normal walk to the coast, to the South Atlantic coast? I suppose I suppose you could risk going to Granada. So CG is gone. However, there are still potentially both renewed vigors out there. And I don't think we've seen any speed telegraphs either, unless they were simply discarded. Yep, no speed telegraphs either. And those can be pretty handy when combined with renewed vigor. So, yeah, Dracula still needs to be careful. Okay, he's just normal walking. Okay. So given that they just completely missed with their CG, yeah, I expect, like I said, that there's still potential, and there's still potential for another renewed vigor next turn. Seward gets slow horse. Gracious. Pizzawizard's horse economy has not been kind to him this game. Chartered carriage, perhaps? The Seward? Okay, so he gets a good roll. So I assume he'll... I would check Saragossa, personally. Because if he went to Barcelona, that would be, after checking Toulouse, that would be where he is, unless he hid. But imagine if this is a hide card that he's rumored. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And this is his second move, so... Oh, this is Van Helsing, not Seward. Okay. Okay, not Saragossa. So it would appear as if it's Granada. Either that, or it's a hide at Barcelona. Or at Alicante. Which would definitely be a dangerous move. And Mr. Green's doing well. Hmm. Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, there's still 2 stakes in this left in the second to go through the supply deck. So Mia could be holding one. So what do Van Helsing and Seward do? Seward already horsed, but he could have a sense of emergency. We haven't seen either of those yet. He could have the second chartered carriage. What I might do, I might actually want to have him just sit in supply, actually. Discarded a planned ambush. Gracious, he has... Or that was Van Helsing who did that. They've got some pretty good events discarding a planned ambush. So there's one of the few remaining. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's one of the remaining 8. So there's 7 left that they could draw with a night supply. So 7 out of 23. But imagine if he was. Imagine if he's hiding in Barcelona and now Wolf forms to Marseille. That would be. That'd be rough for the hunters. I mean, they do still have that vampire lair, and that could help. Oh dear, Dracula got an event. We know that it's not unearthly swiftness, since that was discarded by the Mystic Research. Okay. This is tense. Personally, I would probably do a wolf form if I were Dracula, simply to give the hunters more possibilities. Because you can't put, because regardless what he has done, he can't put out to sea right now. So therefore, I would probably wolf form to give them more possible locations to check. Ah, so he didn't hide. We now know that. So it's not Barcelona. So it was Alicante Granada. We now know. Oh, and since he moved normally, we know that he's simply sitting at Cadiz or Alicante. It's an either or. Alicante or Cadiz. Which one is it? It's Alicante. So he successfully deflected Goldaming. Oh, so we got a good horse roll. So that means that we have a potential 2v1 on our hands. The question is there a fog? Oh? Oh, he hit at Granada. Lol. I did not take that into account. So I suppose if you're the hunters, you simply have Van Helsing move to Madrid. Just make it so that he has to wolf form to keep evading you. It's possible that while you're under the hide card, you want to feed as Dracula as well. Especially since there's only a few days, there's only a couple days left before you start scoring points, and you'll want to feed before then. What was that event being described? A charred carriage? So that's 2 charred carriages down. I mean, very soon, it will likely become the game of who has forewarned. I mean, Mina has to check this tonight. Otherwise, that's 6 or 7 points guaranteed for Dracula. Unless that's a fake rumor token, that is. Gracious, how dreadful would that be for the hunters? Mia showing an excellent weather. Interesting. So, new vampire. New vampire night fight. This will be extremely hard for Mia to take down. And if she gets killed here, that's game over. Dracula wins. So this is going to be an extremely tough fight. And especially all the more so because she's the one holding Vampire. Or she was the one holding Vampire Lair, apparently. But if she dies, Dracula wins on his move. Or, yeah, because 4 points for dying and then 6 points for the mature. So, what'll it be? What happens here? Plotting? Throwing out the heavenly host. That was daring, but now that he has a plotting on her, this is going to be very dangerous for me now.
So, now, as the vampire, I would mesmerize. Go for the bite kill condition. Mind you, there is still the possibility of great strength, which would keep me alive, but the vampire would still score a point, which would mean that Dracula would rocket up to 12 points. Mesmerize, yeah, the only thing that can counter it is punch, so he plots on the punch. And now, if I were the vampire, I would mesmerize again if you have it, because without the punch as an option, it's impossible to counter it. And that way you can... Okay, strength. He dodged. Okay. So the knife is still out there. Mesmerize. Punch. Okay. Okay, so new vampire, you just need to survive. Just play Escape is Missed now. Yep, Escape is Missed. So that's Dracula up to the 12 points now. Or no, not 12, 11. But nonetheless, that's almost just as bad. He almost had it, but not quite. Whee! And that will... So, what do you do as Dracula for your move? Because you haven't quite won yet, because you didn't kill Mina. Oh boy, is this close. So, we know that he's hiding at Granada. Given the situation... Yeah, I thought he was going to do that myself, because you know that they have hidden scheme. So now oh boy, if he has another fog, if he has both a fog down and he has another fog, he can now guarantee himself safety while he's there. Which means that he may also Dark Call. Because if he Dark Calls... Yeah, which actually would... So, if there's a fog... If there's two fogs at Granada... the hunters are kind of forced to go for it now. Because Dracula can easily afford to do a Dark Call and then simply move once it's Monday. Once it's week 4. Because there's only one more Dracula move before week 4. So therefore... Oh. Sometimes supplying is not the answer, Pizzawizard. Because you have to challenge him in order to win this. Otherwise, he's just going to stay there and Dark Call. I suppose then you can challenge him then, but... Ah, right, they have Vampire Lair, so... Oh, he won't win with one move. Right. Oh boy, this is so close. So close. So, that means that Dracula should... I think Dracula should still Dark Call, despite the fact that it does damage to him. I think it's still better to... Oh boy, this is going to be close. But of course there's a rumor token here. I mean, not that he needs it. Both the new vampires, which wouldn't be enough, are in the discard. So if there is a vampire there, it's going to be one that'll do it, rumor token or no rumor token. So, if Dracula, as Dracula, I would actually be tempted to do a Dark Call here. Stay inside your fortress one more turn, and then they're semi-forced to pounce on you. Well, not really, I suppose. They simply wait until you come out, and then play a guessing game with you as to where you are. Well, no. This is tense, fellas. This is what a tiebreaker. What a semi-final finale this has been. The Hunters of Dracula cornered, but but if he does Dark Call and then moves out of his fortress, all it takes is the slightest, he can simply lay down Reckless Vampire, and that could win him the game. And let's not forget, Dracula does have an event, or did, right? He used it. It was a hidden schemes he used. Okay, doing some night supplies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So there's only 4 out of the remaining 14 that are still... With the one on top, there's 21 accounted for. Okay, will Dracula Dark Call? I would definitely consider it. Yep. This is gonna be fun. Obviously, next turn he's forced to move out of his fortress, but he will almost certainly wolf form. And if the hunters do not have the second renewed vigor, it's going to be a little bit difficult. And of course, if Dracula has a fog, then they discard Heroic Leap. So if he now moves and lays down a Reckless Vampire as his encounter, there's no Heroic Leap to just auto kill it. There may be escape routes, But yeah, there's still escape routes. There's likely at least one escape route kicking about. But since he drew so many cards, I will be extremely surprised if he doesn't have a Reckless Vampire to lay down. It would have to be one of these things that he's kicked out of layers. Yep, wolf form. And now he lays down a Reckless Vampire, I'm pretty sure. Either that or a fog, and it becomes the game of who has the forewarned. If anyone has the second forewarned, which one is it? Surprising return. Ah, yes. So now Harker will get to probe at one of the 3 locations he could be. But that can do nothing about... But that has nothing to do with what... Okay, so it's not Lisbon. Renewed Vigor. Okay. So that means that... that means that this is going to end up being a 3-on-1. If you can't fog them, or just get a Reckless Vampire bite, then it... Okay, so he has no choice but to check Madrid first. And, that's not it. It was not a fake wolf form. It was Santander. Reckless Vampire. Do you have an escape route? No. Nor does he have any other combat event. Apart possibly from Lucy's Revenge, and that wouldn't help. Lucy's Revenge wouldn't do him any good in this situation, so he could conceivably still have that combat event. Oh boy. It's down to this, folks. Can the Reckless Vampire land a successful Fang attack? Mesmerize? Heavenly Host? No. Okay. Do we know where all the knives are? We know that Van Helsing has one. And we know that Mina has. And we know that... I think we know that Seward has one too. Does Goldaming have one? I don't know. Strength? Heavenly Host. Oh. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean it's GG yet, Mistergreen. Okay, so he successfully used his Heavenly Host on that. That doesn't necessarily mean it's GG yet. I mean, what this does mean is that they do get to move in on Dracula freely. Yeah, they can just move in, use combat events, but Dracula could... I mean, let's keep in mind that that's now... We know that there's, at most, one Heavenly Host left in play. Because Mia used one on the new Vampire just before the deck got reshuffled. And people have been supplying from small towns. And so there's at most one Heavenly Host. So 12 health, I think, should be enough to sustain himself long enough to get in a bite on someone. Of course, there is Sister Agatha, and that will make things a little bit harder. But if he can get a Mesmerized Fang combo on someone, then alright, it comes down to this. Okay, so he's potentially mixing up the items a little. A 3v1. Dracula has 12 health. That's right. Mr. Green is not wrong there. One way or another, this battle is the end. So, yep, Pizzawizard acknowledge. Yes, so there are actually several ways Mr. Green could go out trying to win here. He could try to claw down Van Helsing, as that would only take him 2 rounds of battle. He could try to go for a Mesmerized Fang combo on any of them. Or he could just go for survival, breaking weapons, trying to fang the person who has the Heavenly Host. Because I'm pretty sure there's only one. Okay, going for Van Helsing. That seems to say that that's a claw attack. Yep. Knife. Alright, so now Pizzawizard has to be a bit wary about that. But with only 9 events not drawn, I will be a little bit surprised if there's no great strength, personally. Okay, knife. Gul'daming did Heavenly Host. I thought that was what they were up to. And he also does a knife. So, I think that, given the situation, so long as they unleash a killing combo between Van Helsing can simply dodge, and Gul'daming and Sewer can just hit him with firearms, and that will do it. Yeah, I think that claws on Van Helsing was not the claw victory was not the way to go. You have to actually cancel damage to win this battle. Fangs on a rifle. He was hoping to hit a Heavenly Host. Alright, so Pizzawizard will indeed move on to the finals to face off against Scott's Sword. Barely. GG, you well played both. Yep, and that means that Mr. Green and I will face each other in the bronze match to see which of us gets 3rd place. But the finalists are Scott Sword, champion of 2022, and Pizzawizard, champion of 2023. They finally have their chance to officially settle their differences. Let's see if we can get these two in for a post-game chat. You can stick around for that if you like. Chat. Okay, so Mr. Green is agreeing to come once he has finished the report. Pizzawizard is yet to respond. I imagine he's wrapping up his own recording of his perspective. Yeah, but that was very well done by both sides. That was, I mean, Mr. Green said it. That was as close as could be, or Pizzawizard apparently. That's as close as it can get. Week 4, 12 influence, last minute it kill. That was definitely as late as it could get. I mean, since they're taking a while to respond, I suppose I'll close out the stream now. But thank you for watching, everyone, and well, we'll see what happens in the finals and the bronze match. I shall do my best to defeat Mr. Green and claim the bronze medal, but we'll see. Mr. Green is no easy opponent. And as for who will claim the crown between Pizzawizard and Scotsward, we shall see.